First off, I would like to dedicate this review to all the people who did not point out last week that I fucked up Universe 6 and 7 and got them flipped around. I appreciate all of you very, very much. To all the people who did, feel the need to point out, hey, you got those two universes flipped around, even though I totally know that you know the difference, and this really isn't helping anything other than just to point out so I feel smug and superior. You don't get a review dedicated to you. So suck on that. Hope you've learned your lesson. Now on to the review. It's now past the tournament, it's over, everyone's celebrating, big old party, because that's apparently what Bulma does now. Every time that there is a big event, Bulma throws a party to celebrate. She invites Beerus and Whis and says, hey, bring the Monaka. If Beerus is like, shit, I'm not bringing Monaka, Goku's gonna want to fight him. Monaka ends up showing up anyhow because he's the delivery guy, and Jaco friggin' had like some desserts or something delivered to the party, so then Goku wants to fight Monaka. And everyone knows now that Monaka is weak. Like, they figure it out. And Beerus is just still dedicated to the lie. He's like, Goku can't find out. So they dress Beerus up in a Monaka costume to duke it out with Goku. They fight for a bit. Shit starts getting a little out of hand. They stop. Whis intervenes in the fight. They're like, okay, you guys have fought enough. It's a sparring match. You're going to destroy the planet. Stop. By the end of the episode, Goku, still doesn't have a clue what's going on. He still thinks Monaka is super powerful. Everyone's ruse worked. Episode ends. As for what I thought of this episode, I thought it was pretty damn funny. It was a really good little slice of life episode. A really funny episode. I think this series does slice of life way better than it does dramatic storytelling. Because every time they try to do big, complicated stories, they really just kind of make it into a goddamn clusterfuck that I don't really appreciate. It's not really my thing. And I just end up being bitchy and complaining. But whenever they do slice of life, I feel like they really do some great character interactions. And it really just makes these characters shine. Shows me elements and, parts of them that I haven't got to see before. I haven't seen in a long time. And this is a good comedic episode, too. Everyone figures out that, Monaka is weak. And then Bulma just, totally calls Beerus out. And it's like, come on, we know, Monaka's, totally a puss here. And he just completely outed. Goku shows up to the damn party, and Chi-Chi is just like, oh, Goku, you look like shit. Go back to the house and, dress nicely for this party. So she sends his ass home, and so that way Beerus can explain the whole, what the hell's going on and why they can't tell Goku anything about Monaka. So yeah, some really great little character moments for, Chi-Chi and Bulma. Really enjoyed that. Also, we got to see things we haven't seen in a really long time, like Chaozu using his psychic powers to try and restrain Goku. We see Poir do his shape-shifting thing, which we haven't seen since, the fucking tournament arc, the 21st tournament arc of Dragon Ball. Fucking, that was great. That was easily, the highlight right there with Poir. I was like, oh my god, it's back. Kuririn doing the Taioken. Everyone was used really well, great comedic beats all the way throughout. I would say, all the jokes and gags, they really landed for me, I wasn't, laughing out loud or anything, but it definitely got a lot of chuckles out of me throughout the entire, episode. Now, as fun as I thought this episode was, as entertaining as I thought it was, there are some things that bothered me pretty much throughout the entire episode. It was the first, the most minor of all these things, Chaozu, he used, uses his psychic ability to restrain Goku. That was a funny moment. It was cool to see that ability again, but it didn't really make sense that Chaozu was able to, hold Goku down, because, we've that move didn't even work on Nappa. So, to think it would work on Goku is kind of weird. Yeah, and I mean, there's a million explanations that you can have for that. I mean, I'm not that upset about that. I'm really upset at all, because it's just it's been a really long time. He could have improved the technique. Goku, wasn't in a combative state, and who wasn't really trying that hard to fight it. So, there's a lot of ways you can look at that. I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get all nitpicky about that, but it was just one of those little things that kind of clicked in my head. I was like, I'll let that slide. That's fine, whatever. Things that legitimately bothered me. There's two things that stood out in this episode that I found bothersome. First up, Goku is really fucking stupid in this episode. I know it's Goku, he's an idiot. No, Goku's idiot knob was turned up to 11 this episode. The entire time he's fighting Beerus, he has no clue he's fucking fighting Beerus. The costume's tearing, he sees the two Monakas, and it is kind of funny because, Goku, he keeps correlating it to other things he sees, oh, Monaka, you look different now, you can transform, because he's seen transformations. Oh, you split like Majin Buu. That's you just have all these crazy abilities. You're just fucking awesome. Like, it is really funny that Goku kept correlating things, but I felt like they took it a little too far. Also, like, the biggest thing that bugged me about that was, you know, he even points out, like, oh, you have the key of a god. You have, like, Beer's key. That's so crazy. I didn't know you could use God key. How does he not know that that's Beer's then? If he could tell that he's sensing Beer's power, he knows what Beer's key feels like. He can sense God key. You know, we know this. You know, how does he not know that's Beer's in that costume? Because the way key works, you know, the characters can always tell whose key is who. Like, they could feel someone from across the other side of the planet and go, oh shit, like, Vegeta's powering up. They know who the hell it is. Here, it's just like he's standing right in front of Beer's and has no clue. I really wish they had found some way around that, something, because, you know, lampshading it and pointing out, like, oh, you have, like, the same type of key as Beer's, isn't, like, that doesn't come off as smart. You're just kind of pointing out the fact that you fucked up. And pointing out that you fucked up doesn't mean you didn't fuck up. It doesn't absolve you of that in terms of, like, you know, writing, guys. Like, that irked me, like, the entire time. And then, like, just how blatantly obvious they were making it. Like, the friggin' suit's tearing apart. Also, you know, the fact that, like, he's fighting Goku's base form. It's like, if Beerus is really that much more powerful than Goku, then he should just be able to, like, big smack him in one hit and drop him, and then that's it. Kind of like how he karate chopped him in SS3 and, you know, laid him out. It should have been that level of a fight. It shouldn't even have been a fight, especially since Goku is in his base form. So, yeah. You know, Beer's, you know, he never should have, you know, his costume really shouldn't have been able to be torn at all because Goku never should have been able to hit him. Yes, I get it makes for a more engaging and entertaining visual, but entertaining and engaging visuals don't really mean anything to me if it doesn't make context within the universe that they've established. So, yeah, it was irksome. Also, the biggest issue I have with this episode was Vegeta being completely overshadowed in this. Because Vegeta, he finds out, you know, just like everyone else, that Monaka is weak, and that, you know, this whole thing was to, you know, elevate their training, to motivate them. And that's fine, whatever. I still think it's stupid because you still have Beerus and Whis there as the motivators. I don't know why the hell you need to bring another character in there for that to be motivation. But anyhow, you know, you know, Monaka's supposed to be their motivator. And Vegeta has no problem with being lied to. He has no problem with, you know, the fact that, oh, you know, like, because Beerus makes such a really big deal about Goku. Goku is the one person who cannot find out about this. And, like, at no point does Vegeta just go, well, what the fuck about me, man? Like, you know, I know, do I not matter anymore? Like, I really feel like Vegeta should have taken more offense to this, considering this is kind of what they've been doing with Vegeta's character as of late. The fact that he's kind of back to what he was before, where he was hyper-competitive, and he doesn't like being outdone by Goku. So for him to have, like, no issue with this, and just be like, oh, whatever, and just react like everyone else did, you know, I feel that's really out of character for Vegeta. You know, if Vegeta's going to be, like, you know, like, jealous of Goku and be hyper-competitive, make him jealous, make him hyper-competitive. You know, he had this whole issue with Goku passing him with the Kaioken, like, when he was finally on even tier with the guy, and now he just doesn't care, I guess? You know, has he gotten back to that same stage that he was during the Kid Buu fight, where he goes, Goku, you're always going to be #1. I guess I'm just never going to catch up, and he's just going to let go of that? Or is... I don't know. Like, it just really bothered me. It just kind of really feels like the writers were just... It's kind of like that additional confirmation that, yeah, they're just kind of burying Vegeta. Vegeta isn't relevant anymore. And I really kind of wish that weren't the case. Like, I hope that isn't going to be the case, because the fewer relevant characters that you have, the less interesting of a show you have. And the more you make it... I mean, I think GT did an alright job with, you know, having Goku being the centerpiece, because they still found other things for the other characters to do, as in, like, make Vegeta the villain, or, you know, have people there to, like, you know, distract, like, the One-Star Dragon, you know, or have Goku team up with Vegeta when they were both Super Saiyan 4, 18 teaming up with Goku. Like, you know, they did little things to, you know, not keep Goku, like, you know, keep Goku like the top tier guy, but put him in situations where he might require help from other people. And I'm hoping that at least Super will, you know, kind of find a nice balance there. and not just make it the Goku show, all Goku, all the time, 24 hours a day. And most of all, though, I just want Vegeta's character to be consistent. If you're gonna put Vegeta into the forefront, you're gonna, like, try to make him more of a main character again, make him more relevant again, make him relevant, or don't make him relevant. Don't play this back and forth, If you're gonna give Vegeta a character motivation, keep his character motivation. Don't fucking pull his character motivation out from under him. Either he's gonna be something or he's not. Like, is he gonna be competitive, or is he gonna let Goku just pass him and be okay with that? Is he, I really feel that he should be extremely jealous over the fact that Beerus is so wrapped up in Goku and just pretty much ignoring his existence now. So yeah, like, now Vegeta's kind of, in this episode he was relegated to being a gag character, and yeah, that didn't sit well with me. It was funny, but it didn't sit well with me, like in the back of my head. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps up all my barely coherent ramblings for this week. Like I said, it's a really entertaining episode. It's a funny episode. It has great character moments. It had, like, its portrayal and treatment of Goku and Vegeta in this episode bothered me. Goku because he was just too much of a goddamn idiot, and Vegeta because now it's just he's being a joke. He's being kind of relegated to just being a gag character and just being swept under the carpet. And why even make him, like, why give him this god form at all if you're not gonna use him for anything, or just bury the character and just have him not feel relevant anymore. So yeah, like I said, solid episode, really, really fun. Even despite all of its flaws, I kind of compare it to like that one pterodactyl episode near the end of Dragon Ball Z where Goku was trying to friggin' protect the pterodactyl's egg, and that part was stupid as shit, but then you cut to, like, the party, and, like, that's full of great character interactions and moments, and it was a really just awesome episode, but then they kept cutting away to that stupid fucking Goku protecting a pterodactyl egg thing. That's kind of what this episode was. It was a great episode with just some stupid shit up in there that just kind of making me go, but whatever, it's a gag episode, so I'll let it, slide. Whatever, it's super. I'm used to this bullshit by now. Till next time, Zeon, out.